Hello everyone! Good day Mapuans! And welcome to Professionalism Matters. So, sensya na po na dito muna ako mag-podcast na yun. Ako lang mag-isa muna mag-podcast. So, I want to share with you that I'm having my podcast here in my room and in my computer only. So, this podcast that helps students prepare for success both in school and beyond. I'm your host, Adriel Egan Bonhe. And today, we're diving into how students can show professionalism in different everyday scenarios, from the classrooms to emails, and even on social media, whether you're in high school, college, or vocational training. These tips will help you make strong and respectful impression. Let's get into it. Okay. So, excuse me first for a while. Ah. So, scenario 1 in the classroom. So, professionalism starts with the respect when you're in the classroom. So, number 1, arrive on time. Being punctual shows you're serious about learning. And for the number 2, listen when others speak. That includes your teachers and classmates. So, number 3, participate actively but don't dominate the discussion. And for the number 4, keep your phone silent and out of sight unless it's part of a learning activity. Okay. Next will be scenario 2. Okay, I have an example of what I studied in the scenario 1. So, the example is, if you disagree with someone, respond calmly, say, I see your point, but I have a different perspective. That's a professional action. So, some so this actually disagree with someone that if you do not listen to the class or participate in class. So, that's what they said to them. Okay, so scenario 2, communicating with teachers or other staffs, email and or in person. Whether you're sending an email or speaking face to face. So number 1, use formal greetings, dear Professor Smith or hello Mr. Lee, like that. So that's the number 1. And for the number 2, be clear and concise, get to the point respectfully. So meaning that you should show respect to others, like from teachers or other workers or other staff. You need to respect them. So that's the meaning, that you should respectfully go to the point, and like saying example in Filipino, like po or opo, that show respect, like calling them ma'am or sir, that is a respect. Okay, so next, for the number 3, always say please and thank you. So saying please and thank you is a respectful word from other people. Like example, if someone give you something, you need to say thank you to them, because that's a blessing. And also, if you want something from others, you should say please lang. Okay? You should actually say please. Like for example, if you want something from others or to your parents, you need to say please. For like example, email. Subject, question about homework assignment. Dear Mrs. Johnson, this is an example. I hope you're doing well. I had a question about the assignment due next week. Could you please clarify the expectation for the final section? Thank you for your time. Best regards. So, if you want to email somebody, you need to say that, like dear and best regards. And for the number 3 scenario, group project or teamwork. Teamwork is common in school and life. So, number 1, communicate regularly with your group. Number 2, don't ghost your team. If you can't meet a deadline, let them know. So, meaning of this, you need to let them know the deadline and do not leave or ghost your team. And you need to cooperate with your group mate or your team, because it's a group work. Because if you didn't communicate with your group work or team, you will also have a failing grade on that. Okay. And number 4, be open to feedback. Okay, meaning of this be open to feedback is actually check always your website on your school website, like example Blackboard. If there's a deadline, you need to make it quick and hurry before the deadline comes. Okay, so my tip here is think of your group like co-workers. You don't have to be best friends, but you do need to collaborate and support each other. So next, for the scenario 4, on social media. Yes, even your online presence matters. Number 1, avoid posting anything offensive or inappropriate. Assume future employers will see it. Meaning is that you need to avoid posting offensive or inappropriate things, like posting fake news when it doesn't happen naman. So that's the meaning of that, na hindi naman nangyari yan, kasi offensive din yan, pati inappropriate, like dapat you should only post kindness lang, only positive thoughts lang in social media or Facebook. Do not post negative, because that will make you offensive or inappropriate to other people. So next will be number 2, don't vent about teachers or classmates publicly. So meaning you need to show respect to your teachers or your classmates, because that's the real thing in the world, that you need to respect them and be kind to others. Okay, so for the number 3, use social media to showcase your achievements, projects, or community service. Yeah, this is correct. So using of social media, you can showcase your achievements, like you won anything on sports like swimming, volleyball, badminton, basketball, like that. If you have achievements on that, you can post it on your Facebook account. So if you have a group projects, or if you are done with your projects, you can post it through Facebook. So my tip here is keep private accounts locked down and think before you post. Yeah, that's correct, that we should think before we post, because we need to show that if it's good or bad if we post it. If we do not think before we post, it will cause a lot of negative problems in our social media, because like example, posting fake news in social media is didn't because some others posted in social media that they didn't think before they post it. So my tip here is only you should think muna before you post. Okay, so for the next question, for here I have a story here. For in this situation, this is an example, my story here. In this situation, Emma should uphold several key ethical standards, particularly those related to academic honesty, personal integrity, and fairness. So ethical standards Emma should uphold. So number 1, academic honesty. Emma must ensure that all her work is her own, properly cite sources, and avoid any form of plagiarism or cheating, and copying from others or using unauthorized aids like AI, ChatGPT, or Google. That's a plagiarism, that you steal someone's written words or you copied them. That's also a case also. And if you do plagiarism, you'll also sent to jail, because copying others' work is it's a sin or a case. It's a criminal offense too. So number 2, personal integrity. Upholding honesty even when no one is watching reflects strong character. Emma should act according to her values and persist pressure or temptation, even if others are cheating or it's easy to get away with. So meaning upholding honestly even when there is no watching her, you should still not cheat, because some other people cheats when there is no teacher or adult in your side. So they can cheat if there is no adult in your side or teacher, because That's also a form of plagiarism. And if you cheat, you'll have a failing grades or no grades. You'll get a 0 points. So number 3, in fairness. Academic environments function best when everyone completes on a level playing field. By cheating, Emma would gain an unfair advantage, undermining the efforts of classmates who are following the rules. So in our class, there are rules that about plagiarism case, or do not copy from internet or chat GPT or Google or AI. So next, impact of cheating erodes personal integrity. Even a simple act of dishonesty can lead to a pattern of a behavior that damages self-respect and moral judgment. So for the consequence, if caught, Emma could face disciplinary actions like failing the assignment or class, or even expulsion. So that is also true, that we're about to fail if she got caught or disciplined, because like in college, if you caught cheating, you'll also have a IP grades or INC grades if you cheat. If you got caught by a professor or a teacher. So being unfair to others, it demoralizes students who work hard and follow the rules, and it contributes a toxic academic culture. So what should I say is, Emma should refuse to participate in her peers' cheating practices, upholding her personal values and principle academic honesty, and essential even when in the face social pressure. Cheating may seem like a way to avoid short-term consequences, but it undermines her integrity, learning, and failure opportunities. So, if Emma decides to confirm to her peers of cheating behavior, she is engaging in compliance, a type of conformity where an individual outwardly goes along with the group's behavior but inwardly disagrees. So, if Emma decides to conform by participating in cheating, the underlying reasons depends on her motivation for doing so. Based on her typical academic and peer pressure scenarios, here's how form of conformity could apply and the most likely explanation. So number 1, compliance. Emma conforms because she wants to be accepted by her peers, to avoid or conflict even though she knows cheating is wrong. Avoid rejection, judgment, or isolation. She still believes that cheating is unethical but acts against her values due to social pressure. So, example, she says, I don't want to do this, but everyone else is doing it, and I don't want to stand out. So, that's an example of her words. Okay, so, for the last, so, I decided if Emma can decides to address the issue of cheating with her peers, the most appropriate conflict management style would be collaborating. By using a collaborating style, Emma can assert her values while showing the empathy and seeking constructive change, making it the most ethical and effective approach to resolving this conflict. So, thank you everyone and have a nice day. Thank you for watching my video, and hope you like my story here, and please subscribe in my YouTube channel.